Welcome to the channel, and today I'm going to show you how to replace a SIG Romeo Zero on this P365X. And let me put the whole thing in context. This is about a 2-month-old gun, kind of an impulse buy at an incredible price. It was discontinued in the warehouse at an Academy Sports store, and I just got to chatting with the salesman, got really friendly, didn't really see a gun I wanted, nor did I need one. But he went in the warehouse and came out with this P365X Romeo Zero factory installed on it that was on liquidation. And it wasn't showing in stock, but the price was $559, which is like $40 cheaper than they were selling a P365X without the Romeo Zero. So there it was, kind of an impulse buy. But unfortunately, 2 months later, the Romeo Zero died in recoil at the firing range. Now, where I was impressed is how SIG handled my warranty claim. I literally called, and within 5 minutes, customer service had everything resolved. They were shipping a new Romeo Zero. At the same time, they were emailing me a FedEx slip to return the old Romeo Zero once I had replaced it. I just received my new SIG Romeo Zero, so I'm going to replace it. Here's the pistol. It is clear. If we look, no magazine, nothing in the chamber. And to basically release the slide on one of these, you basically just kind of pivot this down, and when you release the slide lock, it just kind of moves forward. So to work on this, it's going to be a lot easier. Recoil spring assembly is going to be out, and we're going to remove this barrel as well. Okay, so it's going to be a lot easier to work with. I just want to show you here, all we have are 2 little screws. Now, according to SIG, it is a 2mm hex, and what I'm going to do, instead of using the tool that comes with the SIG pistol, which is just an Allen key, I'm going to use my multi-bit driver here. It's a Tactics screwdriver. It's got all the bits I need to kind of work on guns and different optics. I'm also going to use a torque wrench to tighten these screws later on. This is a fat wrench by Wheeler, and it's really made for gunsmithing and larger scopes, which is why I've got the Tactics driver where I've got my smaller bits for pistol red dots. So here we go. We're just going to remove this. I'm going to set the drive so that I can do that. And loosen these, loosen this one too, and I'm going to keep my thumb on the red dot, and the reason for that is if I just unscrew, the first screw is going to come out, but the second one is just going to pivot out with the red dot and stay kind of screwed into it. So I'll get that second screw out right now. And I'm just going to put this aside here, put the old red dot right here. And I want to show you something before I continue, and that is kind of the chemical barrier we see here. Usually if you watch a video on YouTube, you're going to see, and by the way, I had already removed the battery when I swapped one out. It didn't work. I just removed a brand new battery I had opened up. But if you look at a Romeo Zero on many YouTube channels, this barrier here, the sticker, is usually stuck on the Romeo Zero, and they usually have to peel the battery right off of it. The factory installation actually puts the chemical barrier straight on the slide. So that's something, to keep in mind, that the people at SIG, when they manufacture these and put them together, it actually sticks on the slide and not onto the Romeo Zero. So I'm going to put this Romeo Zero aside, put this slide to the side, and here's my brand new SIG Romeo Zero. It ships in kind of a indescript little box. It's not a retail package, and in here I have a brand new battery, which we're not going to need, and I have my brand new SIG Romeo Zero. Take that out. I'm going to put the old one in here so we don't get mixed up, and we're just going to lay this aside. Now, put this right back here. And what SIG recommends is to actually put a little bit of thread lock, blue thread lock on those screws. So we're going to do that as well. The battery here actually is going to flip with the plus, the positive side, to the top. So wherever you see the writing, the CR16323 3 volts Energizer, that's going to be at the top here. And just so you know also, if you look a little closer to a Romeo 0, the little 3 here, it could also be a 6. This is an indicator if it's a 3 MOA or a 6 MOA red dot that you have on your pistol. So I'm going to mount it with the slide coming down on the red dot. And the reason for that is so the battery doesn't drop out. It just makes it easier. And I'm going to put this down here like this. Actually, I'm going to check it. Do I have a red dot right now? Yes, I do have a red dot. It's should be able to show you that red dot right here. So you should be able to see that on camera right now. We do have a full red dot. It's working. So that's good. I'm going to lay down this, and I'm going to go get my thread lock. It's just a regular, this one is the Permatex thread lock. No real other reason than it was the only one available at the store as to why I have this brand versus other brands. I'm just going to squeeze a little bit out of there. Put that on the thread here. Very little. And I'm going to drop this in here. Do the same thing with the next one. A little bit of thread lock. A little more than I want. And I'm going to drop this in here as well. Okay. And again, with my screwdriver, I am going to put these in. But I'm not going to tighten one at a time. I'm going to bring them in, and just until the point where they're loosely snug. And this one I did have a little too much thread lock on it. Okay, and here's something that I have learned from a gunsmith nearby, and actually a video from Sig Sauer recommends the same thing, is to actually slowly tighten these a little bit one at a time and just alternate until they're kind of snug. And that's at that point that we're going to move in with the torque driver. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of more tightness one at a time. I think this one is going to be more than enough. And apparently, although I can't say this Romeo 0 is going to be at 0, I'm probably going to have to zero it in. What it's going to do by following this procedure of slowly tightening each side at a time is assure that I have, or I maintain, a 0 on my red dot when I replace the battery. It's going to just make it more accurate during the installation. If I only go and tighten one side and then the other one, it may be a little off from where it originally was. So following this procedure, according to SIG and some gunsmith, will allow me to maintain a more accurate 0 when I reinstall this Romeo 0. So we're going to swap bits. I'm going to put this in my torque wrench. Now, SIG recommends that I tighten this at 9 pounds. This wrench actually starts marking at 10, but we can set it so it's just a little below the 10. And I'm going to show you right now. What you should see is there's a little white bar, and as I turn clockwise, you're going to see that little white block has a red line through it. And if I put it like right below the 10 as it is right now, I'm guessing I'm a lot closer to 9 pounds, but I don't think even that 10 pounds would make that big of a difference. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my slide here, and I'm going to just start tightening again, slowly going from one screw to the other. I put a little bit of pressure in there. I don't want to strip these screws either. And a little more pressure here, and here it is. Got my click, got my 9 to 10 pounds here. Oh, a little looser on this one. And here I am, 9 to 10 pounds. So I got to click on both. If I look at this red dot, it's still on. And if I, the Romeo 0, if you look at it right here, it's kind of like a rear sight. There's a little indentation that serves as a rear sight. So if I line that up as a normal sight with my front sight, I can see that I'm pretty close to a 0. It looks just a little high, so I'll have to adjust this at the range. I'll do a little follow-up video for that. But it's that simple. It is installed now. And all I have to do is reassemble my pistol. And what I'm going to do also is put the links for this torque drive and this little screwdriver set. I got both of these on Amazon. They're going to be sponsored links. I think they're just a great budget alternative. There's a lot more expensive torque drivers out there. But if you're going to be working on your own sights, whether it be a scope or a red dot on your pistol, this is a great starting point, and it's a great price. It's about $50 and $20 for the driver set here. And you're in business. So it's not too much of an investment. It's not the cheapest out there, but it'll get you going. Let's put that barrel back in. And put this in. Now, basically, when you reassemble this pistol, and I'm actually trying to do it this way, it's a little upside down for me. It's going to slide, the slide's going to slide on, and when I bring it back and lock it, this should pivot right back into position. So here I am, it slides regular. I'm going to bring her back, and boom. I don't know if you saw that, it came right back into position. So technically now I have a working pistol. So it's that simple. It's easy to disassemble, easy to assemble. I've got a functioning pistol, and if I look at my red dot, I've got a functioning red dot here. Let me try and put this in front of the camera. And here it is, we have the red dot there. So that was quite simple. The tools are simple. You don't need all of that. There is a way of torquing these screws, so you're at about 9 pounds. According to SIG in the manual, and I'll put a little link to that manual also in the description. Once you tighten these by hand with the little wrench, once you're snug, you just turn 3/4 of a turn on each, and you should be pretty close to 9 pounds according to the SIG manual. I prefer using a real torque wrench, and you just know it's a lot more accurate. I did test this torque wrench against a calibrated wrench, and it is pretty accurate also, so I'm happy with that. And here you are. This was just a quick, simple swap. I'm going to ship this off to SIG. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see follow-ups and a few more, just please press like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for your time.